Good morning. Today is October the 1st. We're repeating an area we were in a couple of weeks ago. New country, a series of conjoined meadows and ponds. And we are up here multitasking today. First of all, we're following up on what we're likely, sorry, trying to fix the hat too, or I'll just live with it. Following up on some potential wood knocks, but more likely woodpecker sounds. And I am also kind of multitasking. I was going to go bow hunting today too, but the weather was kind of iffy, so I figured I'd opt for scouting today. It is good habitat for ruffled grouse, but today it's with fall colors. I kind of opted more for scenery and photography and that kind of thing. So we're going to go and do that, and that's about our agenda for the day. So far, not a lot of hunters out. I guess it's early for that. There's bear hunters out doing bow hunting too, but with that you have dogs. I covered that last week. So we're going to get going, and that's our plan for the day. Okay, we're back, and we have, I don't know if this is going to capture that, but on the tree in the middle is a bird that I believe is a bobwhite, and bobwhites are on my license as allowable game. So that is the first good sign of the day that this area is good bird hunting territory, if not squatching. I've seen a couple of tracks that could be interpreted as potential footprints, and out here you are, it's a bitch getting through this, if I'm being perfectly blunt. You saw, I've done a video that was like maybe a month old that I came through here. And the meadows are okay, but the forestry parts, you kind of get chewed up in the undergrowth and all that loveliness. So it is kind of its own reward, but we're out in this. We're going to get fall colors as we go through, kind of like do a progressive journey through photography, either on the way up or on the way back. Thought I would do a check-in because I saw the bobwhite, so I'm encouraged. There was a duck in here. I don't have a migratory bird tag, so ducks and geese and the like are not really on the menu, and duck is one of those things I kind of have to be in the mood for anyway. What is that? Come on. I don't know if that's catching him, but right in the middle there is, let's see if I can get closer to him. So yeah, he's flying off. It really is too far away to get an accurate identification, but I'll have to look up later if I'm wrong about that being a bobwhite or not. But it doesn't really fly like a quail, though. That could be something else. It's the same bird from before, but the coloration, that could be a flicker, which would make me completely wrong. But it is. But this is bird habitat, which is encouraging. So there's that. Let's continue on our way. We'll do a segment as we make our way through some of the more or less easier country through here before we get into other potential rougher going. I remember the way. Your key to not getting your feet wet is staying to the right. or at least keeping them as dry as you can. That being said, the air's drier, so there's less dew today. We do have signs of ungulate bedding down, though. So this is an active game area, and therefore a workable habitat. You can see from the tree line that the area's interior is fairly thick from the Squatch watching you walk by perspective. I'm also listening in because there are, if that is a bobwhite, that call is replete through here. So there's a few of those in here on the far side of the meadow. So if I was doing a bow hunting stalk today, you got a decent shot if you follow the line of that beaver dam over that lines up with the trees. Something I will commit to memory. But today we're scouting, and without having come through here with a bow before, I am going to kind of gauge that. You would be slower going through the wooded parts of this because getting a bow in here is one more thing. You have to angle through the trees, and some of this stuff is thick enough to make it a pain in the ass to get through. But as we yap, let us keep moving. So if I didn't do the weather before, it is currently not quite 50. We're into that part of the year where the norm in the morning is basically going to be in the low to mid 40s, which if you're hiking through stuff like this is fine. I almost just walked on a massive pile of some shit. Somebody's poo pile. Older, so hard to identify it, but at least I didn't step in it. I'm gonna loop around here and then get back out here and line up. This isn't the one with the stream. I think that one's further up. More poo. Given we're on a moose trail, I'm gonna guess that's Bullwinkle's leavings. You can kind of see how he kind of cuts through there and there. Kind of tells you how the animals move through here. Sorry. Trying to remember the way up. This one, I remember this one going straighter, but apparently no, we hop off here, I remember now. Hop off in here and angle still sort of to the right, but it opens enough they can see down the hill back into this meadow and keep going back. Or you can just head due south because that'll line you up with the road too. So for orientation pure purposes, and despite the New English, the proper word usage is orient, not orientate, like Englishmen want to say. So right now, east is more or less this way, which makes west obviously the other way. Sorry, the road is due west. South will take you deeper into the woods. Going to the north will line you up with a trail. If you go far enough, you'll hit it. It's a muddy, shitty trail, but it's a way home, so if you get that turned around, beggars can't be choosers. But I'm going to navigate this, which means I'll take a little segment break for a bit, give you a final view of where we just came from. I'm going to kind of pace the camera too, because lately I think I demonstrated it does this either all bright or all dark thing, and it gets frustrating. So for quality of video, or video quality assurance, to use a $5 word on a Saturday afternoon, I am going to take a segment break and kind of pace this video. Kind of a progressive journey by meadow, by meadow, by meadow. I think there's like 4 or 5. And we are currently entering number 3. or 4 if the little piece that you first count is counted as a meadow. I don't know that I do. We'll call that a meadowlet. Anyway, we are going to be back in a bit. Okay, we're back. We're about a meadow and a half ahead. We're back into the deadwood area. Let me, if the camera will behave. Deadwood, nothing but deadwood in Beaver Pond. Sun is slowly coming out. I was trying to find a magical way to get over there, but you can see that this all in the middle, swamp. So we're kind of walking along the edge of the beaver dam to find our way. But that's okay, because ironically, the way home, if you see through there, is just like 30 feet that way. So we're not really going at a high risk path to get. There's supposedly another pond over here I'm trying to find my way to, and I'm going to step here. This is becoming increasingly kind of treacherous. So what I'm going to do is maneuver my way into the actual tree line where it's actual ground and not broken off logs. A little less fucking hazardous. I almost just break my foot right there. You didn't see that. Somebody in the comments will scream, and correctly, be careful. So noted. On Google Maps, there was a pond to the left of this fascinating area right here. And I think if I go this way, I might intersect with it. If not, if I could, I can probably cheat and get the drone up at one point, either here or the meadow below, and fly over. I don't know how good the signal will be, but that becomes a possibility. And suddenly we're past the swamp and it gets a little bit better. Welcome to the dry side. So, what I haven't even covered today, Bigfoot gossip. I don't really know that there is any, which is fine, because I would rather anyway see the actual subject itself get the fair amount of attention, not drama-related nonsense. But you know, I'm just crazy that way. So the question drone-wise is, there's enough flatness here, I could probably get it up in the air and then pivot around the overall area, get the best thing. I also have to be careful. I have a whistle with me, not so much for bear alerting as much as I have heard shots off in the distance. You could have duck or bear hunters in here too. And of course, my being the genius self that I am, because I didn't come hunting today, my orange is at home, so I need a way to alert. Hopefully bow hunters, because I feel safer with them than I do with shotgun guys. No offense to shotgun guys, but bow hunter ammo is more expensive, and therefore they're not going to be as trigger happy at the slightest sound. So I'm going to, what I'm doing, if it isn't obvious, I'm working my way around the pond to see if, because if my knowledge, hold on, some people would want that to be a Bigfoot. That's a double step. Never mind. So I am, and then I'm going to take a shitload of pictures when I get back, because right now we're in the middle of this really this is actually a cool kind of place. I'd almost call this like a thinking place. You just have an open space, you can get up in here, and then I don't hear the gunshots anymore, so I think I'm in here by myself, which is awesome, unless you've got the hairy folk about. Let me stick out here so I can have a better view and see if my pond theory pays off, because this looks like it opens up right there, possibly. If I find to the contrary, I will likely go the drone route. But ground level pond photography is favorable. And that is the overall mission of the day, kind of a mix of scenery, photography, crawl, and scouting birds. I think I've seen a bobwhite or two. They are on my license as shootable. Not very big though. Yeah, the moose are about, because there's a lot of wads of, I don't know. Am I getting that? There's like a big massive wad of moose shit right there. There it is. That is like basically more than the size of my foot. But there are liberal amounts of that lovely substance here. We're going to go to the end of this and see if I can see through to the pond or not. See if it opens up over there too. If not, I guess it's going to prove to be drone time, and then we'll start working our way back. But not to be deterred just yet. Let's see if this opens up or not. Because over that way is the meadow we took to get here. We're just moving in a kind of roundabout way parallel to that. Thing is, it doesn't look like it opens up. Let us find out. Or does it? Or does it? So here's some giveaways. This is kind of like a Forest Ninja lesson. If you listen, the wind is making it hard to listen, but it does open up over here, number one. And number two, you hear running water from a stream that's going to feed in, so the pond is probably right over there. So we're going to go, I'm trying to ascertain the jumpability of this. And, ow. Or go around there and hope it didn't rip into my shirt. And I think the pond is over here. Yeah, today was a better day for a scenery crawl than a bird hunt, but I did see shootable prey, just not big prey. I would prefer grouse to bobwhite because they're bigger, so therefore it's a bigger meal. But let's yeah, this opens up over here, so let's not. Easiest path over though. Maybe just like going parallel here. No, we can see out and see what we have. Here. Or is it just a little patch of open ground? So dark you can't see that, but there's like a lot of digging in here. Okay, I'm willing to admit I might be wrong, but it does open up to something. So let's have a look. I might be wrong. Because my memory of the map is that the distance between the meadow and the pond would place it right here, and obviously no pond. So I could keep going and chasing the mirage of open ground, but I don't see through the trees at eye level, so that's not what this is. Because from here you can see the distance, you can see open ground through there. So rather than go off track so far, we get potentially turned around. We're going to call our pursuit of the pond here. We're going to fall back to flat ground, and we are going to take the cheater's way out and put the drone into the air and put it up about 300 feet and see what we find. And if there are duck hunters about, hopefully they won't shoot at it. That would be upsetting. And if I look right over there, there are hunters that know the area because there's blue hunter's tape right over there. So I am not alone. And no offense again to the shotgun guys, but my experience has been the bow hunter guys are the guys who come out this far. Shotgun guys, some may, as a rule, they tend to not be as stalky as much as they just kind of, although you do have a big pond over here where you could set up and try to call in ducks. I could easily see somebody doing that. But let us take the cheater's way out and figure out where the pond is before we go randomly going off deep into the wood line and getting turned around. This is an exercise of prudence versus valor. And c'est la vie. Let's go out and find a flat spot and get the drone up and see what we see. Which of course initiates the fact that we're going to be doing a segment break. And we'll take things from there. But let's see where I can get a launch spot from. If I can find, if I get out away from the tree line, then it won't interfere with the signal. And at that point, you just basically have to maybe wait for the wind to die down. And I can do a staircase takeoff, which is basically go up, work out, got to do a gradual ascent. Right next to the deer, to the fucking moose poo, pardon my French. Where's this dry enough to facilitate? The thing is, it's going to get pissy about the proximity to the trees. Let me figure this out. Okay, I'm going to take a segment break. Find... 1 second. Same thing. There is an open spot over there. Brief change in plans. If this isn't all damn swamp. And I can walk across here. I'm going to poke my head through the pines over here. And see if the pond... I haven't given up the idea the pond is like nearby. But if this is all effing swamp, and the more I look, the more it is. You know what? Drone it is. Drone it is. Unless, let's see. How hard a walk is that over there? I'm not deterred yet. Because it's literally 40 feet over here. We're not going a major distance. I just don't want to be swamped out doing it. Let's see. If there's a windable spot, it does not look that way though. This is quite annoying. If I can just find enough high ground to get through, I can get over there. So I go through the dead shit. Shit. But a lot of this is uneven ground. But I think we have succeeded. Let's see what's through here. Maybe nothing. But, and I'm looking, well, hold on, there's something up there. So I may stand corrected. Yeah, it's up the hill. So we're going to stay on camera. I'm going to restart the camera because I think it's gone all dark. So, nope, we're still there. We're still... but essentially the way home, that way. Not lost, not yet. Let's get up over here, since this is fairly open. We're just going to keep going. This will be a long segment. Hopefully it will. Actually, I'm going to restart the camera because I am not convinced it isn't, so bear with me. Much better. We didn't go anywhere. We just reset the camera because it was doing the dark thing as opposed to the all bright thing. But yeah, it's like maybe 50 feet up here. There is something I'm willing to bet it's the pond or another meadow. So this is new territory. We haven't gone this far up, but it's not that far. So come along as we take a look and find the path of least resistance. At this point, I know I'm talking, so I'm frustrated that I'm not seeing more signs of grouse, because this is kind of some prime territory where, especially when you get the areas like right where the trees meet the open ground, that's kind of where they're going to be found, according to folks that know more about grouse hunting than I do. But this opens up to something. And right now I'm kind of just enjoying the journey through the scenery. Let's see what we got over here. Going up and over a hill. Do I see water? I do. I actually do, so bear with me. As I had stated, I wanted ground level. And you might actually have more launchable territory over here once I see what I'm dealing with. But yes, this would be the pond. Oh yeah, I can launch from here. More poo. Awesome. No, we're not going to take the bait, but you can't even see. Hold on. Okay, so the camera's doing the old bright thing. Now that we can see again, the camera's not being a douche. If you look way over there, there's the opening to the next meadow, but that stuff tall. So I might just do a stroll over there to see how far we can take this, but the first thing we're going to do is get the drone up. As soon as I find a dry spot or a flat spot to put her up, and I'm thinking right over here. Are you doing that damn thing again? Okay, I'm going to assume not, but so I'm going to take a segment break and do that because the camera seems to want to play games. So we're going to give him a rest, and the annoying thing is it's not even like hot or muggy, so there's no reason for this. You're being a poop for the sake of being a poop. But we're going to put the drone up maybe 200 feet and see what we see, because then I can see what's over there, see if it's worth the journey. Otherwise, we're about as far as I'm good to go today. I wanted to get to this pond, and we're here, so. Out comes the camera, thus begins the segment break, and we will be back on the way back probably, but we'll be back in a bit. Okay, we are wrapping up. This is where we find the way home and say, so mixed bag today of awesome scenery. We ended up going further north than we thought because we found the pond. And there was a little field north of there. We took it about as far as we could before we ran out of open space. Covered a fair amount of ground actually, and saw a couple of bobwhites in terms of birding. We saw more moose tracks and moose crap that you can freaking shake a stick at, and a couple of maybe tracks that I thought wasn't confident enough in to take pictures of, but It's definitely awesome country. It's definitely grouse territory, although I didn't see any particular today. I did see a bobwhite, I think. And it was a distance, so I didn't really confirm. That's where we're going to leave this today, and we're going to start heading back. So as always, as we wrap up, there's a wannabe stick structure for those of you that are into that. It's deadfall to me, but don't let me stop you from having your imagination play with you. Like, subscribe, leave comments to give feedback if you are so moved, and we will catch you next time. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the flip side.